Measured. Observe the modern condition, a universal exhaustion born from the human drive to freeze time and grip onto things that are fading. In this framework, Islam is presented as a description of reality, offering a map of the world exactly as it was created. This reality suggests that the human life cycle is a process of alignment, aimed at returning to the source of creation with a whole heart. The central obstacle to this alignment is the ego, or nafs, an internal force that demands its own autonomy, permanence, and total control. Because the ego insists on its own sovereignty, it naturally resists the concept of surrender, or Islam, to a higher reality. This constant friction between a heart seeking permanence and a world that cannot provide it creates the exhaustion we feel today. The physical world, the Dunya, is structured as a place of testing and transition, rather than a final resting place. Its core operating system is perpetual change. Health eventually degrades, wealth slowly disappears, and relationships begin and end. This creates a structural mismatch. The ego demands an unyielding security that the volatile architecture of the physical world was never meant to provide. Worldly instability is a deliberate mechanism. It serves to remind the soul that it is in transit, preventing it from settling too deeply into a temporary environment. Despite this, the ego continues its futile demand for perfect health, justice, and control from a world that wasn't built to sustain them. This leaves the individual with a binary choice: either align the internal self with this reality, or live in a state of continual collision. The ego is highly adaptable. When placed in a religious environment, it simply changes its vocabulary to hide its resistance. In individualistic cultures, the ego rebels openly. In traditional societies, it adopts outward conformity and status, while the inner self continues to resist total surrender. Through compartmentalization, the ego performs physical rituals while protecting its deepest unsubmitted assumptions about wealth, power, and self-interest. Whether the ego rebels explicitly or hides behind religious identity, the spiritual disease remains the same. Outward religious conformity without an inward transformation of the heart allows the ego to remain the actual master of a person's life. Islam provides a navigational system designed to help the soul cross the terrain of the dunya without losing itself. Salah acts as a mechanical anchor, pulling the heart out of the world's gravity, while fasting disciplines physical desire and starves the ego's demand for instant gratification. Charity serves to loosen the psychological attachment to material security, and constant remembrance, or dhikr, cures the human tendency toward spiritual amnesia. The Sunnah provides the practical model, demonstrating how to embody these metaphysical truths within the context of a physical human life. These practices function as a mechanical system designed to dismantle the specific illusions the ego uses to maintain its control. When the heart aligns with reality, life's events change their meaning. They become a personalized curriculum designed by the Creator to educate the heart. Disappointments and fears serve as diagnostic tools, highlighting exactly where the ego is still trying to play God, or where an attachment has become unhealthy. Sometimes a mistake brings immediate consequences. This short rope is a mercy, forcing the servant to reflect, suffer friction, and realign. Other times, consequences are delayed while blessings flow. This long rope allows a person to drift into danger despite misalignment. The danger here is that the ego mistakes this delay for divine approval, drifting until reality eventually and inevitably asserts itself. Immediate hardship often functions as a tool for rapid realignment, while uninterrupted ease can be the soul's most significant peril. This alignment transforms character, developing a profile of gratitude with grit, an active patience paired with a fierce reliance on the Creator. Believers build resilience by processing emotions through the filter of divine decree, establishing firm boundaries without allowing bitterness to consume their inner state. They exhaust every lawful means in the material world, yet they release anxiety over the outcomes, accepting whatever is decreed. Allah's blessings are meant to be beautifully enjoyed, provided they are received as resting places along the road to a different destination. The believer rests and gives thanks, but they never mistake the rest stop for the final destination. The primary spiritual threat today is the fractured self, where religion is reduced to an isolated compartment, while the ego runs the rest of life. This creates the tragedy of a life where wealth, suffering, and aging are handled by the unsubmitted self, while faith remains a weekend ritual. The ultimate station is ihsan, worshipping out of experiential love, moving through life as though you see the Creator, knowing that He sees you. Living Islam means asking how to live every single aspect of experience within the reality that Allah has revealed. The human soul was never engineered to find its final home within a perfect dunya. Its destination is much further ahead. That destination is the Creator. Everything else is simply preparation for the meeting.